those requirements, there we go, that's better, now I don't have to yell. I was able to find in our policies where we do have those requirements. One moment, let me pull this up. And there are requirements for businesses that are not going to be just selling alcohol. For example, if you are a separate business and you sell like fishing tackle, you may have to sell, you will have to set up a separate area, separate cashier area to be able to sell that alcohol at the retail level. Further, there are requirements stating that Class A licenses, it's the decision of the LHPS committee and the Common Council not to issue Class A licenses to convenience stores or mini-marts that are also selling gasoline or other motor fuels. That was in those policies that were adopted by the LHPS committee. Does the committee have any questions or any statements they'd like to make? This is a discussion item, so you may make any statements related to this discussion.
I'll do that.
Is it an option for the LHPS committee to exonerate a business that sells gasoline, or it is mandatory? I mean, the way you worded it seemed that we have an option.
So, notwithstanding, so in the policies that I had sent to the committee, it gives requirements of sort of things that businesses will have to do. Notwithstanding those requirements, at the very end of the policy it states, it shall further be the policy of the LHPS committee and the Common Council not to issue Class A liquor licenses to convenience stores or mini-marts that also sell gasoline or other motor fuels.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay, I asked a question earlier of Meredith. If I own a tavern in the city of Sheboygan and I have that license, I can sell bottled liquor to people off the street and they can take it home.
When you say tavern, do you mean like a bar, or do you mean a retailer? A bar?
Right.
Yeah, I believe it's just wine, correct? Or can you sell?
Thank you.
I knew he was going to ask
So
that.
municipalities can make their own rules when it comes to that, and in section 4.104 of our code, it says that you can sell intoxicating liquor in the original container in multiples not to exceed 4 liters at any one time. But that's for a Class B liquor license,
Okay.
and we're talking Class A here today.
Right.
Right, yes, but yes,
Okay.
you can.
I guess what I was trying to get at here is if Uptown Slice, or I'm sorry, if they wanted to sell liquor out of their location, why wouldn't they just purchase a reserve license and they can sell all the liquor they want? And then they don't have to have a separate entrance. They don't have, I mean, the key here is the fact that we don't want to have people walking into one entrance and being able to buy alcohol if it's a requirement of all the mini-marts to make sure that they have separate entrances and anybody else has a separate entrance. Why wouldn't you have to have a separate entrance? I just think that once we allow people to come in to a location and buy alcohol from behind the counter, I think we're opening up a situation where that's not the best thing for our community.
Since you're addressing us, can I?
Okay.
All right, so I'm a little confused at your question because we have our location on Michigan Avenue. We want to apply for a Class B liquor license for that. Currently, we just have a beer and wine license.
Right.
Are there any Class B licenses available today that are going up?
There will be presentations.
It's 2 weeks. Okay, all right. So we're here for the Class A license for our depot location, which is on 8th Street.
Mm-hmm.
So that is more of it's not a sit-down restaurant. It's grab and go. There are other desserts and snacks and non-alcoholic beverages and sodas there. But primarily it's a place for people to come and pick up their pizzas that they order from us online or on the phone. So this is kind of it's a different situation. It's not a Class B license wouldn't qualify in this case. So that's why we're looking for a Class A license so we can sell closed container beer and wine. Liquor, we don't really care about. If that's the determining factor here, then we will just agree not to sell liquor and just sell beer and wine. But that is our hope, is to sell full bottles and cans of beer and wine to go out of our retail store.
And to be clear, as Meredith had just stated in Section 4-104, talking about Class B licenses, it states that our Sheboygan Municipal Code authorizes the sale of intoxicating liquor in the original package or container in multiples not to exceed 4 liters at any one time. So it is possible for a Class B liquor license to be able to sell for off-premise consumption, I believe. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, but we're a tiny restaurant, and we're not a big chain. We can't spend $10,000 on a reserve license, and there's also Class A licenses available. So I'm not hearing anything. Can I get some confirmation as far as what's the issue with our current proposal? Is there any issue? Because the last time we were here, there wasn't really anything that was brought to my attention that, because we're not a gas station, that would prevent us from getting this type of license. So does anybody have any issue legally or otherwise?
Answer.
I can answer unless Alder Boyce would like to. Okay, go ahead. So the policy that I had stated previously that we were not able to find for last time was that there is a requirement for businesses that are not just selling alcohol to have a separate interior space for the display of the intoxicating liquor, provided that there is one entrance and exit from the liquor area, a gate or other approved apparatus for securing or closing off the intoxicating liquor area between the hours of 9 p.m. and 8 a.m., a separate manned register checkout for the intoxicating liquor area, and such layouts shall be required to comply with all the applicable code requirements.
Right. So this is intoxicating liquor. We're not really interested in selling intoxicating liquor.
Wine is included as an intoxicating liquor.
Okay. So if we wanted to sell wine and beer out of our store, we would have to basically just carton off a section of our store.
Yes, for lack of a better term, yeah. There would have to be, like I just said, these requirements of having the separate man checkout, the separate gate, closing things off, segregated interior space. And it would have to comply.
Are those an or are those an and? Are they all required?
Those are all ands.
Ands? Okay. Can you repeat those again?
I can. So, in order to sell intoxicating liquor for this Class A license, you will have to have a separate segregated interior space for the display of intoxicating liquor, providing limited access such that there is one entrance and exit from the liquor area, a gate or other approved apparatus, for securing / closing off the intoxicating liquor area between the hours of 9 p.m. and 8 a.m., a separate manned register / checkout for the intoxicating liquor area, and such a layout must comply with all of the applicable code requirements. So think of, maybe not the best example, but like Walmart or Meijer, they've got these totally separate areas in their stores where there's one checkout there and it's gated off, and in order to enter and exit it, there's one spot for it, that type of thing.
Okay. So if we were to sell just beer, that would not be an issue?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions for me? Or any other discussion that the committee would like to have?
Just one other point, please. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
I think that as I was researching this, one of the puzzles, I think, as far as state laws are concerned, is that wine is included as liquor, and there's no separate just beer and wine. And so that's part of the reason that it's contained within this policy. There is also another statement at the end of the policy that basically says that you're not precluded from checking out the alcohol in another area of the business. There just has to be a cash wrap available within that separate area. But otherwise, I mean, that's really the only way to make that happen with that particular type of license.
Is this a city ordinance?
This is a policy adopted by the LHPS committee.
Okay, Joe.
Again, the only reason I referenced the reserve license, because if it was going to cost you $10,000 to build this other area onto your building, I'd go that route, because then you wouldn't open up a liquor store, you wouldn't have a tavern, but you'd still be able to sell the alcohol, the beer, the wine, and any other spirits that you wanted to sell. Again, I don't know, again, I know you're a small business, but as I'm thinking about this, I'm saying, well, this guy's got to put in a separate entrance. He's got to have a door. He might have to have another person checking over there. You know what I mean? Yeah. There might be a lot involved in there. And I just thought, well, there's a remedy, but okay.
We can't.
You'd have to sell a lot of pizza in order to do that. And I know it is good pizza, so.
Our priority is like a couple weeks for the on-premise or the last week for sure. So it's nice to be able to sell wine at this location. It is what it is.
Okay.
Any other discussion that the committee would like to have?
Gracia?
Thank you, Chair. Just to clarify, so this is something that in theory the LHBS committee could change, removing wine from Class A. I know this is not a topic of this situation because it's pretty clear to me right now, but in theory we could change that.
I don't believe so, no.
It's state statute.
Wine is an intoxicating liquor.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Hold, please. Okay.
Thank you. Policies generally are subject to change based upon common council preferences. The only limits are if the state or federal laws preempt those policy changes. I don't have an answer specific to this segregation of operations specific to a Class A issue, but we can certainly look into that for you and get back to you.
I really appreciate that, yes. I mean, just to understand if that's something that, based on, if we research this item and verify that, for example, other municipalities have adopted policies that do not include wine as part of Class A.
I think what what I understand is that the policy that could be changed is more about the segregation, not about the categorization of wine as an intoxicating liquor.
Very good. I get it now. Yes, if it is possible to have additional information on that part, at least we know that we have an option if we want to take that into consideration as a change.
Certainly.
Thank you so much.
Okay, is there any other discussion on this?
Just real quick.
Yes.
It does look like that.
There is flexibility to have that changed. Obviously, we'd be interested in pursuing that and being able to sell wine because we think it would be, like we said 3 weeks ago, a really nice value add for the neighborhood. So that's it.
Okay, maybe I could get a motion to table this until those things can be hammered out?
It's just a discussion item, so there's no need to have a
okay.
motion or anything. We can just put it back on for discussion.
Okay, we'll put it back on for discussion.
Okay.
All right.
Changes get accepted, would gas station also be eligible to sell wine as an intoxicated liquor?
I can't give you a if, yes, no answer right now. It's something that would have to be researched. I appreciate the question, but I can't give you an
Sure.
answer right now.
Yeah, but just keep that in mind. In case that gets approved and if the gas station also be eligible, please consider our station to, just, yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Seeing no other discussion, we'll go on to the next item on the agenda. Resolution number 622526 by Alderman Rust and LaFave, authorizing the appropriate city officials to execute an agreement with the town of Sheboygan for the temporary use of their 2021 Polaris UTV and trailer to support the Midwest Powerboat P1 race event.
Thank you, Chair. So this is something that we've done in the past verbally, but now it is in writing. So Town of Sheboygan is allowing us to use their UTV for the boat race for that weekend, and it's just a formality of liability and allowing us to use it.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to recommend.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to recommend this. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, and it passes. Okay. Number 8, Report 12526 by the city clerk submitting various liquor applications.
Thank you. So there are 3 applications on this report. The first is for a change of agent application for the Northwestern House. There are no issues with that application, and staff recommends that to be granted. The second is for granting a temporary change of premise for the BFW Memorial Post. There's nothing specifically precluding that change of premise, so that may be granted. Finally, there is a cigarette tobacco application for Johnny Vapes. There is, again, nothing in that application precluding it from being granted, so staff recommends that application be granted as well.
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Chair votes aye. That passes. That exhausts our agenda. Next tentative meeting is July 28th, and I'll accept a...
The next tentative meeting is actually the 29th.
Excuse
Yep,
me,
a Tuesday,
yes.
yep.
We have to change that because of the number of liquor license applications, and we want to make sure everyone has enough time to present their case. So that will be, the next meeting date would be July 29th at the same time in this building right here. Okay, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Chair.